Action.
Hi, I'm Alice and my kitchen is my wonderland. Welcome to it. Today we're going to make soup. We're going to use some leftover ham. I had lots of leftover ham after New Year's Day. We were expecting 12 people for dinner. 6 came. So now we got to use our leftovers. We're going to make ham and corn chowder. And I've got some bacon and butter heating in my pan on the stove, and I'm going to add 4 cups of onions. If you're wondering about this muffin tin, on top of the stove, we're having cornbread muffins with our soup. Whenever you cook anything with onions, you want to add some salt to it, turn it on low, and cook it until your onions become translucent. Adding gray salt to mine. The lid goes on, heat goes down, and we're going to let those cook for about 8 minutes. I want to tell you what else is going to be in the soup. I've got 4 cups of red potatoes cut up in this container. You saw the onions. I've got 4 cups of red bell pepper in this container, and you saw this. Later on, I'm going to put in some smoked paprika, some sweet Hungarian paprika, some chipotle chili, some bay leaves, and some thyme. So now we'll just wait until our onions are done. I guess I could start mixing up the cornbread. So it has 1/2 cup of flour. Most recipes you see for cornbread will have 3/4 cup of flour or 1.5 cups of flour and a 1/2 cup of cornmeal. I don't like that kind. Okay, got the sugar. I have a tendency to do that. This has 1.5 cups of cornmeal, 1/2 cup of flour, tablespoon of baking powder. This is Clabber Girl, just like my grandmother used when she taught me to make this, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. This soda is so that you can have buttermilk. This is buttermilk cornbread. So all my dry ingredients are mixed together. I'm going to toss in a couple of eggs and whip them up. And a cup of buttermilk. And we have to have some oil and butter. And 6 tablespoons of oil and butter. I have this all mixed together. Now, when my grandmother and mother made this, that 6 tablespoons of oil was bacon drippings. But you notice that bacon is not as drippy as it used to be? I don't know how they ever got all those jars of leftover bacon fat. So we want to mix this together. You want to mix it until it's completely mixed, but not overly mixed. I'm still trying to get all the dry parts incorporated into the liquid. There we go. Should be about right. Now let's check our onions. So we can fill our muffin tins. When I do the last part of the soup, I'll put this in. They'll all be done at the same time. Normally when I make cornbread, I make it in the 10-inch cast iron skillet that was my mother's. So you can tell it was a really old pan. Still good though. But my grandson really loves the muffins. And he's going to be joining us for supper tonight. These are all ready to go into the oven, but remember, we're waiting till the soup is almost done before we put them in. Let's check our onions. Not quite ready. We'll give them a couple more minutes. I just remembered I should have put my ham in with the onion, so we're going to add that right now. Now everything in this dish is cut about 1/2 inch square. When you're making soup, remember you don't want anything that's so big it's not going to fit on the spoon when you put that soup into your mouth. Okay. Let's go ahead and add our red peppers and our potatoes. And we're going to add, this is 2 kinds of paprika, sweet and smoked, a teaspoon of each, and a 1/2 teaspoon of chipotle chile. And a teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme. I would have used fresh thyme, but they didn't have any at the store today. I always prefer the fresh herbs, but if you don't have them, use the dried herbs. And finally, we're stirring in 1/2 cup of flour. This is going to thicken the soup. And again, you want to stir it in now so that you can let it cook a little bit with the fat. Get rid of that floury taste. Otherwise, your soup's going to taste like library paste. Nobody likes that. I wish you could smell this. This really smells yummy. Okay, I think the flour has cooked enough. I don't see any raw flour in here. Now I'm going to add a 48-ounce container of chicken broth. So I'm going to add a little more water. Now we need to put the lid back on. We're going to let this cook for ½ an hour. You can see our cornbread is done. Our soup is ready for us to add the final items. Take out the bay leaves. Anytime you use bay leaves in cooking, be sure to take them out before you serve your dish. Oops, oops, oops. Sometimes these little boogers are hard to find. I've got one more in here. I had it and I lost it. Well, I'll look for it after I add these other elements. We're going to add 1 package of Trader Joe's roasted corn. If you don't have a Trader Joe's where you live, you can get any frozen corn. I just love the flavor of the roasted corn. And then we're adding 1 cup of heavy cream. We're going to give it a few minutes to heat up here. Still looking for that stray bay leaf. Ah, there it is. There it is. Voila. Since this corn was frozen, we have to give it a few minutes to heat up. And that's all we need to do is just let it heat up. taste a little piece here and see if it's done yet. Oh yeah, that's ready. We're done. We're going to plate it up. So here's the ham and corn chowder. Great way to use leftover ham, or great soup even if you have to go out and buy ham for it.
You know what are you making? It smells really good.
This is ham and corn chowder and cornbread muffins.
Yeah, I love cornbread muffins.
I know, it's your favorite. Okay, y'all, we're having ham and corn chowder and cornbread muffins for dinner. Y'all come. Come on, let's get on
ready?
with it. I'm past ready.
Ready when you are. Action.
All right. Hi, I'm Alice, and my kitchen is my wonderland.